Hey guys, it's Caroline here and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be continuing on my series of bar cookies A to Z. Today's recipe is apricot and toasted almond bars and with Amaretto Glaze. That sounds good, and it's got some alcohol in it, so that should be exciting. Probably safe to say that it's an adult dessert, so sorry kids, you guys can't have this yet. Let's read all the ingredients that this recipe contains. So the filling is 6-ounce package of, or 1 cup of dried apricots, 1 cup of water, a 1/4 cup of Amaretto Liqueur, 1 drop of almond extract, 1 cup of whole natural unbleached almonds, and the crust includes 2 1/4 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of packed light brown sugar, a pinch of salt, 3/4 cup or 1 1/2 sticks of cold unsalted butter cut into small pieces, 2 large egg yolks, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract, and the glaze is 3/4 cup of confectioners sugar and 3 tablespoons of Amaretto Liqueur. So I have never tried Amaretto Liqueur before, so this will be a first time, but look how cool this bottle is. Probably like the fanciest alcoholic bottle that I've ever purchased. It was extremely hard to find at the grocery store. Like, I almost gave up, but I asked one of the workers if they could help me find this, and about like 5 minutes later one of the employees came back with this bottle, and she even said herself that she had a hard time finding it, so I didn't feel as bad. Kind of looks like a giant, I don't know, bottle of cologne or something. I'm gonna start with this recipe. Here we go. First, I have to combine the apricots and water in a medium saucepan and heat to simmering over low heat. So I have my dried apricots right here, and I like unsulfured dried fruit, so I got this one from Trader Joe's. It's their Turkish apricots. Yeah, the only ingredient is organic Turkish apricots. It won't upset my tummy. Okay, so I'm gonna combine this, the apricots, with the water that I have here. So I'm gonna add in the apricots and the water. Turn that on. And it says to simmer over low heat. Change that to low. And it says to cover and cook until tender and most of the liquid is absorbed. Let's mix that up a bit. For any of my Star Wars fans, may the force be with you. Okay, I just want to dunk all these apricots in the water so none of them are dry. Right. Cover that up. While this is heating up, let's make the filling. Okay, so the apricots have to simmer for 15 minutes. So that's going. Actually, while the apricots are cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and toast the almonds. And I already have my oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And it says to spread the almonds in a shallow pan and bake until golden, about 8 minutes. Got my almonds right here. Here we go, spread that all across. And let's toast these guys. In you go, you little guys. Since I have a timer here, let's do a timer on Google. Okay, Google, set timer for 8 minutes.
Sure, 8 minutes. And we're starting now.
Thank you. All right. Time to take out the almonds. Look how cute he is. These almonds look nice and toasted. Great. Let's let that cool down. Ooh, I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I can hear the almonds still sizzling. Okay, what does it say to do next? Set the nuts aside to cool, leave the oven on. Finely grind half of the toasted almonds in a food processor. Set them aside for the crust. Well, I gotta let this cool down first. All right, it's time to add half of the almonds that I just toasted into the food processor and finely grind them. Looks finely ground to me. Dude, toasted almonds smells so fragrant right now. So good. It smells so, so good. This was my timer for the apricots, which were cooking in water. So let's take a look. Hopefully it absorbed a lot of the water. The water content still looks the same in all honesty. Maybe it's because I used apricots without any of the sulfur dioxide. Maybe it doesn't like to absorb the water. I think I will let it cook for maybe 5 more minutes and maybe crank up the heat just a tiny bit. All right, I'm gonna take these finely ground almonds and just set it aside for when we make the crust. Ooh. Okay, now it says to coarsely chop the remaining toasted almonds, set them aside for the topping. So I took the remainder of the almonds, put them in a Ziploc baggie. I am going to use my handy dandy black pepper. Cool, got some coarsely chopped almonds. Well, it's been about 5 minutes and I don't know, the water still doesn't look like it's decreased. So it says just to cook until the apricots are tender, until most of the liquid is absorbed. And hey, the apricots feel tender, so I think I'm just gonna turn it off and let it cool. Let's dump out some of this water, shall we? There, now it looks like most of the water was absorbed, right? Now it says to add in the Amaretto Liqueur. So gradually stir in the Amaretto until blended and then add the almond extract. Set the filling aside. All right, so I have my apricots here that were just cooked and I'm going to add in some of this beautiful guy in there, and it says to add a 1/4 cup of Amaretto Liqueur. So I broke my 1/4 cup probably like about a year ago or so I don't have one. So I'm gonna ask Google maybe like the equivalence of how many tablespoons to a 1/4 of a cup. Let's ask her. Okay, Google, how many tablespoons are in a 1/4 of a cup?
0.25 cups is equivalent to 4 tablespoons.
She always knows the answers. Okay, so 4 tablespoons. Oh no. Dos. Tres. Ooh, this smells really good. You can definitely smell almond. I'm like tempted to drink a glass of this, but I won't because I need to stay focused. Okay, add the almond extract. For the filling, I need a drop of almond extract. This smells good too. This is like the non-alcoholic version of the Amaretto. So let's just do, that's a drop. Cool. I'm going to set the filling aside now. Now I need to lightly butter the bottom and sides of a 13 by 9 inch baking pan. Let's get some butter. Oh, let's butter this up. That looks well buttered. Okay, now to make the crust. In the bowl of a food processor, combine the finely ground almonds, flour, brown sugar, and salt. So I guess this goes back in here. Oops. So finely ground almonds, my flour, brown sugar, and it says it's just a pinch of salt. All right, so I'm gonna pulse this a few times. Okay, with the motor running, add the butter a few pieces at a time. But I have to get the butter out of the fridge because it said in the instructions that it needed to be cold. So let's grab the butter. Got my butter here, and I need 1.5 sticks and cut into small pieces. Got my cold butter here all chopped up nicely, and I'm gonna add this into my little flour and almond mixture. It says, add the butter a few pieces at a time through the feed tube until the mixture is crumbly. And now it says to stir together the egg yolks, vanilla, and almond extract in a small bowl. With the motor running, add the egg mixture and process for a few seconds or until the mixture begins to form a ball. Right, so in a small bowl, I'm going to add in the egg yolks. Let's discard the egg white. One teaspoon of vanilla extract. And 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. Okay, it says to stir that up. Okay, and now with the motor running, I'm going to add in this egg yolk mixture just for a few seconds until it forms a ball. I'm gonna scrape these sides so it gets all of this. Well, I don't see any ball, so I think we'll just leave it at that because it's been more than a few seconds. It looks pretty well mixed. So measure out 2.5 cups of the crust mixture and press it into the prepared pan. Reserve the remaining crust mixture. Let's get 2.5 cups of this guy. Going to press it into the pan. Bake until golden for 10 to 15 minutes. Here's my pressed crust. Let's put that in the oven. 10 to 15 minutes. Let's just do 12 minutes. Hey, while you're drinking some water, have you ever had Amaretto Liqueur before?
I don't think so.
Do you have any idea what it is?
Isn't it some almond thing?
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, I've never had it, I don't think.
I think we might have to pour ourselves a small glass each while we try the
I would concur with
bars,
that.
right?
I would concur. Can I smell it?
Yeah,
Smell good?
go for it. It smells really good.
Ooh, it does smell good. Wow.
Yeah.
Smells really good.
I know.
Mm.
We're gonna get drunk tonight. I'm just kidding. No, we're not. We're very responsible parents.
Right.
Okay, timer's going off. It's time to take the crust out. All right. It says remove from the oven and cool slightly. So spread the apricot filling in a thin, even layer over the crust. So I'm gonna take this apricot mixture. It says to add the reserved chopped almonds with the remaining pie crust mixture. It says squeeze the mixture into your hands to make clumps and sprinkle them over the filling, pressing down lightly with your fingertips. Right, so it says to press lightly with my fingertips. And now we bake for 25 minutes or until the bars are lightly browned. Bake that for 25 minutes. All right, while the bars are baking, I'm going to make the glaze. So it says to sift the confectioner's sugar into a small bowl, add the amaretto, and stir until smooth. It's like Christmas in here. This is taking a really long time to sift. Well, I think that's good enough. Let's just dump the rest in. No one will know. Okay, add in the Amaretto, which is 3 tablespoons. And stir until smooth. Look how pretty, smooth, and creamy this glaze looks. I'm excited to pour this on top of the bars. Ooh, that looks nice and golden brown. Great, let's take this out. All right, it says to drizzle the Amaretto glaze over the warm cookies. So let's go ahead and do that. So it says to cool thoroughly before cutting into the bars, but I was reading the introduction here and it says make them a day ahead and let them mellow covered for a day before cutting and serving. So I guess we're just gonna have to try these cookie bars tomorrow, which is kind of a good thing because I probably shouldn't be eating this late at night. Good morning, guys. Well, it's been a night and it's time to cut into these bars that have fully cooled down and allowed the alcohol glaze to mellow out. Looks pretty good. Nice and golden and should be easy to cut into, I'm hoping. Now it says to cut it into 24 bars. So I'm going to do 6 across the shorter end and then 4 across the long end. Alright, all cut up now into 24 bars. And we're gonna have my handy dandy judge Logan taste test and rate them. It's all about presentation here, guys. Added a little bit of almonds for a nice decorative touch. Hopefully Logan will be impressed by that and kind of up the points on presentation. And of course we have to have the Amaretto bottle placed strategically next to the bar. So Logan has finally come down to be my little taste tester. He had to record some videos, so let's start with the judging, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
I had to put this little Pyrex bowl over this so it doesn't dry. We've got a glass here so that we can pour some Amaretto on the side. And we also have our handy dandy Google spreadsheet to rate everything. Yeah, go for it.
What's first, this or the?
Why don't you have a small sip of that first?
Alright, just kind of
Cleanse your palate, yes.
Alright, Amaretto. We didn't have any in Italy.
I don't think.
Not that
Well,
you-
I mean, I
not that
couldn't
you could've,
anyway. I
you
was
were pregnant.
pregnant.
Ooh, that's good. Ooh, I like this stuff. Wow.
You're drinking in the morning, 11:30 in the morning.
It's not morning in New York. Yeah, that's good stuff. I mean, I know we're not rating this, but it's strong. But it's not as strong as like a whiskey or something, but it's got the nice sweetness to it.
And can you taste the almond?
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. All right. I'm ready to indulge. Okay. This is the apricot and toasted almond bar with Amaretto glaze.
Well, okay. Well, first before.
Yeah. I broke it. Huh? The appearance. This looks a bit more attractive to me than the applesauce bar. Like I can see there's like crumbs on top. I can see there's like little pieces of almond there. It just looks something that I would tend to enjoy more. Look at the filling. Like it just looks like a very yummy, delicious filling. So for the presentation, yeah, I mean, this is what I look for in a bar. You know, I'd give it a 5.
Wow.
I mean, maybe I'm being too generous here because we're only 2 bars in. Maybe by the time I get to like the bars and the Z in the alphabet, be a little more particular and I'll have to readjust this. But yeah, this looks like something I would just want to shove in my mouth.
Do you like my little?
With the almonds?
Yeah, personal touch.
Yeah, it's nice. It's something you would see on a cooking show for sure. Mmm. Mmm. Let me see. You know, not that the applesauce bar was super sweet, like overwhelmingly sweet, but I feel the sweetness in this. It's not even as sweet as that one. It's more the nuttiness that you taste, and I like that.
I toasted the almonds. So
Okay, yeah, it really brings out that almond, the nutty flavor. So the applesauce bar, which, you know, applesauce is sweet, and plus you're making it in a bar, so it's super sweet. This one, it's not as sweet as that one.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, it's a good thing. I would honestly say though, now I'm tasting a little more, I would like it maybe a teensy bit sweeter. You know, I'll probably give this one an 8. Texture. The almond pieces give it kind of some complexity with the texture. Apart from the almond pieces, it just, you know, it's kind of what you'd expect, kind of like the applesauce bar. So I'd probably give it a 4.
Well, so far it looks like out of the 2 bars that I made, the apricot and toasted almond bars actually wins by a point, or is in the lead by a point.
At least for the presentation, kind of pushed it over the edge. Yeah. It's good though, for sure.
What does the crust taste like to you?
I didn't really focus on the crust.
Okay.
Just kind of the whole thing in my mouth. I'll get another one if you want me to focus on the crust.
That's okay.
You gotta try it too.
Yeah.
All right, now Caroline's gonna try her own creation.
I love looking at the whole apricots. Really pleasant to look at. It makes it look tempting.
Yeah, it does.
And I feel like it was easier to cut
This one, the applesauce bar?
than the applesauce bar.
'Cause it's more thick
like
inside?
very clean cut because of, I think, the crust. It's like a butter, almost like shortbread type crust. You're right, it's not as sweet. But I like that it's not sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously my ratings are very subjective. If you expect something to be like, oh, this is dessert, it should be like, you know, fairly sweet, you'll probably
Yeah, I'm not into super sweet.
prefer the applesauce bar. Not that the applesauce bar is super sweet, but this one does, it's not, the sugar, the sweetness is not as strong. Because I think a lot of it is, you know, the almond aspect of it. And almonds aren't like inherently sweet like an apple is.
Right,
know?
and the naturally sweetened apricots, which apricots aren't super sweet either.
Right, and when they're dried and everything, yeah, sure, but yeah.
I think it's tasty. I mean, I think because it's more like a shortbread crust, you know, shortbreads tend to be on the drier side. I wouldn't say it's like a super moist bar like applesauce bars were. Those were they're very moist cookie bars, but I really like it. And I love the toasted almond.
You gotta have this to wash it down, basically.
Have a sip of this. Cheers. Woo. That is strong, but it's good.
Yeah, cool. All right, so right now the winner is the apricot almond.
Thanks guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. The next one is blueberry lemon bars, I
Oh,
believe.
sounds
So
good to me. Cool.
Stay tuned for that.
Bye.
Bye.